Hello and welcome to Club 4, episode 8 of The Pilgrimage on FM24. I'm Jamie, and coming up on today's episode is the pre-season edition, and you'll notice we're back on the 31st of May. The reason for that is we've got a job interview at one of the clubs in this list of available jobs. I'll be back in a moment to show you which one. Okay, well, as you can see, the club in question is Portsmouth. I did apply for the job and they've invited me for interview, so let's get straight into the interview. And they've welcomed me in and they want to put forward their vision and allow me to suggest any alterations should they decide to hire me. So let's get started. Am I able to say why you've moved between clubs quite so often? I've been ambitious, and when an opportunity arose to further my own prospects, I felt obliged to take it. Some people might be inclined to say you're taking something of a risk by leaving what has to be considered a safe job and looking to make the jump to an altogether bigger challenge. What's the thought process behind your decision? I am keen to keep progressing, and I'd love the opportunity to do that here. You've developed a reputation for applying for other jobs while still employed. What's all that about? I will not let anything get in the way of my ambition to further my career prospects. You're up for a few jobs right now, it seems. Are you hedging your bets? I'm doing what I can to keep progressing. Would you agree your handling of the media has been mediocre at best? I am going to say I haven't had any complaints. In fact, no, I won't dismiss it. I will go with the convince option of the only thing that should matter is how I intend on handling the media here if given the job. Why have you found it so hard to control your club's finances? I've handled club finances fairly well overall. Are you willing to assure us you do a better job of meeting expectations than your potential predecessor did? Well, considering at Crewe I was expected to keep them in the division and I got them promoted out of it, I think I can safely say I've got a good record when it comes to meeting expectations. We understand the importance of having the right backroom team in place. Do I want to request any changes? I will ask for a small budget. So the current vision: make progress on and off the pitch is the board culture. Work within the wage budget is required. That's fine. Grow the club's reputation. Well, we should do that anyway. 1 year contracts for players over the age of 34. More than likely it'll be none. I more than likely won't offer any out. The 5-year plan is to work towards gaining promotion to the championship and then gain it and then build on it. So that looks like an ambitious plan that I want to be a part of. So that's what I'm going to say. They're not able to offer any expectations for the current season. That's fine. And I have no further requests. That concludes the interview, so I'll be back in a moment to let you know how we got on. Okay, well, we're still waiting to hear back from Portsmouth, and Preston, the other club I applied for a job with, have also invited me for an interview. So let's get straight into that one and attend the interview. So they're welcoming me in and are glad I've come along to discuss their plans for the club's vision should they decide to hire me. So let's get down to business. Am I able to say why I've moved between clubs quite so often? I've been ambitious. Why are you thinking of making what some people would describe as a sideways move? I'm keen to keep progressing and I'd love the opportunity to do that here. Why have you found it acceptable to apply for a number of jobs whilst employed by another team throughout your career? I feel that's acceptable, or no, I'll turn it into a positive. I'll put my own best interest first. You're up for a few jobs right now. Are you hedging your bets? Doing whatever I can to keep progressing. Is it fair to say you haven't done a great job with the media? I haven't received any complaints. Why have you struggled to maintain a strong financial footing in your current job? I've handled club finances fairly well overall. We want to ensure the dressing room atmosphere is much better than it was under our previous manager. Can you assure us that there will be no problem here were we to hire you? I'm extremely confident of being able to cultivate a strong atmosphere without any problems. We understand the importance of having the right backroom team in place when a manager moves to a new club, so we're willing to allow you to request any changes. Again, I'm going to ask for a small budget. If you emerge as a successful candidate, you'd be expected to adhere to the club's vision for the future. We're interested to hear your comments. Make progress on and off the pitch. That's pretty standard. Work within the wage budget is required, and that's fine. Grow reputation. Well, if we achieve what I want to achieve, we'll do that anyway. 1 year contracts for players over 33, 2 years for players over 31. That's fine. They want us to become an established championship team and then continue to do that for the foreseeable future. So that's fine. We aren't in a position to offer any expectations, so that's fine. Let's move on. Is there anything I want them to consider? No. So that is everything, and they're going to go away and consider the process, and they will be in touch soon. So I'll be back when I've got some news as to where we're off to next. Okay, well, we do have answers from both of those interviews, and as you can see, our Portsmouth interview was unsuccessful. They've gone with Matt Taylor, and also Preston have decided we're not for them either, and they have gone with Kevin Nolan. So let's have a look in the job centre and see what else might be available as a result of those managerial movements. And I wonder, I don't think Shrewsbury is the right answer, because although they're an established League One club, they have been hovering around the fringes of relegation for the last 2 seasons, and they're down there again, so that would seem like a strange move. So I don't think Shrewsbury is the right answer. So I'll come back either at the end of June and focus on pre-season with Crewe, or if there is any further interview news, I'll be back with that. So I'll speak to you again in just a moment. Okay, it is now the 1st of July and we're still managing Crewe Alexandra. So time to have a look at the squad as it stands now before we start bringing in trialists. And as you can see, we've got 3 goalkeepers in the squad in Harry Eisted and Tom Booth, who were both here last season, and Colin Andeng and D, who was out on loan last season and has returned. So Harry Eisted remains first choice. Tom Booth is not far behind him as second choice, and we'll be looking to probably loan out Colin Andeng and D again, or possibly even let him go permanently. We only have 1 right back, so that's a position we need to strengthen. We've got 4 centre backs, but only realistically 1 of them is good enough for the squad, at the moment, and that is Connor O'Riordan. So we need 2, probably even 3 centre-backs. We only have 1 left-back, and that's Xavier Smith, who currently doesn't have a work permit and doesn't qualify for one. So we probably need 2 left-backs. We need a defensive midfielder. We only have the on loan Ollie Harrison, who is here until next summer. Central midfield, we've got 3 players, 2 of which are reasonable. In fact, only 1 of them is reasonable. So we're going to need another 3 central midfielders. On the right hand side, we've got Agus as a reasonable backup and Hardy as a very good first choice, and Josh Allen will be looking to either loan out or move on. We've got an additional midfielder in Ty Fisher, who plays further forward, but he's not good enough at the moment. So again, we'll probably look to either loan or move him on permanently. Only 1 left-sided attacking midfielder in Matus Holicek, and he is good enough. So we'll be looking for somebody either to compete with him or somebody slightly better maybe to make him our backup. And then on to striker options, and we've got 3 reasonable ones of the 5 we've got on the books. Chris Long is now past his useful best. The 3 that are useful: Wakeling, Hugill and Kieran McSween, who can also play on the right wing as well. And finally, we need to probably loan out or get rid of Max Woodcock as well. So with that done, I will get on with bringing in some trialists, and I'll come back to show you the first batch once they're in and settled at the club. Okay, a couple of days have gone by. It's now the 3rd of July, and as you can see, our first batch of trialists are in. So let's have a look at them, beginning with Todd Alcock, who is a defensive midfielder and central midfielder, and a very good one at that. He's the 2nd best defensive midfielder at the club, and the 2nd best central midfielder at the club as well on current ability and potential. So a very solid acquisition, who we will be offering a contract to immediately. On to Jacob Slater, and he's another really good acquisition, a left back, and would be the best left back at the club, including of course Xavier Smith, who we can't use, so he's even better than him. So I'm going to get him in on a contract if he'll accept one. Next is Gustavo Cuellar, another defensive midfielder. We only need 1, so I will need to compare Cuellar and Alcock, and it's probably going to be Alcock that's going to get the offer. Next is Jack Moylan, who can play anywhere across the attacking midfield line. He comes in as the best on the left hand side and 2nd best on the right. So again, I think he's nailed on to get an offer. Imari Samuels, left back, again better than Xavier Smith, so could potentially get an offer. On to Alex Gilbert, who's the left wing option and the best left winger at the club if he joins. He's absolutely nailed on to get an offer. Tim Akinola is a defensive midfielder and central midfielder. Second best as defensive midfielder behind Harrison, and best central midfielder ahead of Harrison. Definitely going to offer Akinola a contract. Josh Karoma is a left winger and striker, a best left winger, and in terms of striker, fourth choice. So he, as a left winger, he certainly gets a contract. So I'll make him an offer. On to Jordan Shipley, and he's 29 now and is a solid option in central midfield, so we will offer him something. Tanai Watson is one that we will probably not offer something to. He's a right back. There are better options out there, so Tanai Watson will probably let go. Alex Mowat is a very solid central midfielder. So again, depending on other contract situations and whether other people who are ahead of him in the queue get contracts that they accept, he may well end up getting one as well. On to Sam Long, right back, decent option, second best behind Ben, not far behind him in terms of current ability, so every chance he'll get an offer as a backup for the current season. After Sam Long, it's Jaheim Headley, and he's a very good left back, so we'd be mad not to consider offering him a contract as long as he meets the criteria for a work permit, being that he's American. And next up, Zeno Ibsen Rossi is a central defender and absolutely definitely getting a contract. Lee O'Connor is a right back and central midfielder. He would be the best right back and would be the best central midfielder at the club as well. Be absolutely nuts not to offer him a deal. And finally, Jimmy Dunn is again a centre back and very, very likely to be made an offer. So I will go away and consider those, and I'll come back once we know who has been signed from that batch and where we need to go next. Okay, well, it is the middle of July now, and as you can see, some of those trialists have signed. So to round up the players that have arrived, you'll see the first name on that list is Ollie Harrison from Luton. He was sold to Luton for £375,000, but they immediately offered him back on loan, so we've taken him back on loan for the rest of the season, so you don't need to see him because he was already here. We move on to the first arrival, Sam Long. Just to remind you, Sam's a right back, 2.5 stars, so decent but not anything special. Jordan Shipley is a 3-star central midfielder, again solid option, so very happy. Next in was Tim Akinola, another central midfielder who can also play defensive midfield. Another 3-star current ability, but has a little bit more in the way of potential, so another solid acquisition. Lee O'Connor was next in. He's a right back and central midfielder, 3 stars of current ability, 3.5 stars of potential again, so another very solid player that we've brought in there. And finally, Todd Alcock is another defensive mid and central mid, and he's 3 stars of current ability, 3.5 stars of potential. So I'll be back in a moment with the next batch of signings. So I'll talk to you again very soon. Okay, it is the 31st of July and the day of the first league game of the season. Yes, we're kicking off in July, so time now to give you the final pre-season transfer roundup. And the only signing we've made since I last spoke to you is that of Jimmy Dunn on a free transfer, and let's have a look at him. And as you can see, he's a very, very good centre-back. 3.5 stars of current ability, 3.5 stars of potential. He's 29 and an Irishman, so no work permit issues for him. And he will slot straight in as a first-choice centre-back. And as I said, there were quite a number of departures. Chris Long's gone to Adrionians for 53,000. And all of the rest of the departures are on loan. We've sent Roque Serrano out, Ty Fisher out, Luca Moore, Ben Calder, Matthew Granger, Pharrell Leader-Williams, and Colin Andeng and D. So that leaves the squad at the moment looking like this. So 2 goalkeepers, Harry Eisted and Tom Booth, 2 right backs in Sam Long and Jay Ben, centre backs Jimmy Dunn, Billy Sass Davis, Harrison Holgate and Connor O'Riordan. We currently don't have a left back. Xavier Smith is here but unable to play due to an ongoing work permit issue. And so left back is an area of concern for the first game. We've got 2 defensive midfielders in Todd Alcock and Ollie Harrison. And we've got central midfielders in the shape of O'Connor, Shipley, Akinola and Tabiner. Right wing is covered by Calamagus, Callum Hardy and the currently injured Josh Allen. The left winger at the club, the only left winger, is Matas Holicek. So that's another area we need to strengthen. But up front, we've got currently 4 players fighting for 1 spot. We've got Jacob Wakeling, Jordan Hugill, Kieran McSween and Max Woodcock. So I will leave the transfer roundup there, and I'll be back in a moment to show you the pre-season results. Okay, time now to take a look at the pre-season results, and as you can see, clean sweep of wins. We beat Leek Town 4-1 away from home. We then beat Whitton Albion 5-0. We then beat Nantwich Town 6-1. Kidsgrove Athletic we beat by 3-0. We then played some Scottish sides at home, beat Wraith Rovers 4-1 and Dunfermline Athletic by 3-0. So that rounds the pre-season results off, and I'll be back in a moment to show you the predicted league table and tell you what's coming up on the next episode. Okay, here is the predicted league table then, and as you can see, the bookies have us down to finish 18th with odds of 50-1 on us winning the league. Given the odds of the bottom 4 sides, they don't expect us to be sucked into the relegation zone, so they are expecting us to stay in League 1. And let's have a look now at what we're going to be showing you on the next episode. And as you can see, it is the 31st of July, so it is the day of the first game of the season at home to QPR. So I'll bring you that, and I'll also show you the away game against Bradford City, and I'll play the Burnley game in the middle in the EFL Cup off camera. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.